So welcome everybody to this orientation session of IDL Debate Hackathon 25. Thank you for making this hackathon a successful one where we've seen a turnout of more than 800 participants. Without further ado, we'll dive straight into the orientation. I'm introducing to you Hardik Mahendru, who is the overall coordinator of the DevClub of IITD. He will tell you about the bodies that are organizing this hackathon.
Hey guys, I'm Hardik Mahendru and I'm the DevClub coordinator. I hope I'm audible and you can change it to the next slide. Yeah. So we are DevClub IIT Delhi. It is a thriving hub of developers and innovators driving tech and creativity at IIT Delhi since 2017. Building bold projects. Just a second. Yeah. Building bold projects and making waves at hackathons nationwide. Agentix is a agentic AI community recently launched in IIT Delhi. It is with the vision to solve industry level problems using AI integration in company workflows. We plan to collaborate and integrate AI with many industrial organizations, and the plan is to unite many latest trendy topics पे जो work करने वाले लोग हैं in IIT Delhi to collaborate and build something big. This one hackathon has been my dream personally, and since it is right now alive with debating and development together, I would like to give it a start. Prisha, I would like to say that we collaborated with IDL with Kamal, who will be taking the introduction tomorrow. The IDL hackathon is actually their a big collaboration with them, Agentix X Ideal. And we look forward to this collaboration yielding multiple benefits to both participants as well as the both parties. I would like to introduce Kamal to you. He would be introducing tomorrow Ideal, uh, about Ideal and what is debating. We can move forward. Thank you. All the best. Create multiple good things. Like, create magic out of it. Thank you. I pause it to unmute.
Yeah, sorry for that. So here's the timeline of the hackathon. We'll be having 3 other sessions to tell you about the aspects of things that are necessary for making this problem statement. So the first one is the workshop on competitive debating, which will happen on the 22nd of June. So in this workshop, you'll be told about the different formats of debate, what the speaker roles are, what you're expected to follow the flow of events that happens so that you can build an AI agent that works in that context. The second one will be an AI debating showcase by MemZero. MemZero is collaborating with us to, this will be a more tech-based session where agents for doing the same. That is the whole crux of the hackathon. So yeah, don't miss out this session as well. And the last is the tech session by Sarvam AI. Now Sarvam is our partner, and we expect and hope that you all will use models from Sarvam AI because they have various models for note taking, various models for actual companions who are agents and can answer and respond to queries. So we hope you will use these and respond well to these tech sessions. Keep attending them. Moving on. This is the timeline for the hackathon, wherein you'll be working. So the development phase starts right from the 24th of June. It ends in a month, that is on the 24th of July. Then we have the evaluation phase the very next day. It ends on the 15th of August, and that is the day you'll be having the final showcase and announcement of results. So please do show up on that day, support your colleagues, your peers who have built great stuff, or maybe if you've achieved it, please be there to attend this session as well. Now I leave this to Siddharth.
All right. I hope I'm audible. So, primarily throughout within your first week, you guys will have to decide on one among these three tracks as to what exactly you're going to be working on throughout the entire hackathon. We are giving you three choices with different price pools for all of them. So the first track is about debate learning and practice. This is primarily because there are a lot of people who find debating rather intimidating to get into, where you'll see a lot of people who just feel like it's a rather difficult thing to learn and practice and get good at. So the entire objective of this track is to create like an AI powered learning platform which is friendly to all people of all levels of all skill levels, and introduces people to the fundamentals of debating and how to become a better debater through gamification and points and levels and whatnot, as I'll explain later on. The second is live simulated mock debates. This is to tackle an issue that's commonly found where if you want to debate, you will often find yourself not having enough people to debate with, since a debate usually a debate of AP or BP format requires 6 to 8 people, and apart from other adjudicators and judges. So then it's sometimes rather difficult to find enough people. So this track B is created to tackle that issue by creating AI agent based debaters and adjudicators if so were required. As is written here, you have to create an AI system that replicates full debate rounds with realistic opponents, structured feedback, and complete flow from the entire case prep to the judging slash adjudication part. And the third track is is called enhanced tabbing with Gen AI, and this is because this is regarding Tabby Cat, which is a open source platform already existing for handling tournaments, but we feel that this could be adapted to become something much bigger than what it really actually is right now. And with the help of AI, generative AI, which can provide analytics, feedbacks, and learning resources. Moving into all of these three tracks in detail, because this is the primary choice you'll have to make during this week. Next slide, please. All right. Firstly, track A. This is debate learning and practice. For each track, we'll be explaining core requirements, expected deliverables, and the evaluation criteria. Firstly, the core requirements is it's supposed to be a rather friendly environment where you can learn how to debate with small modules, increasing level by level depending on the user's skill level and not arbitrarily. And this is supposed to give instant feedback on whatever they say. Well, okay, yes, you can choose more than one track, but then we feel that any one of these tracks to perfect it would require at least the amount of time we're giving, and the price pools are separate for each track. So then if you feel you're good enough to do two, you can, but then we would suggest you decide on one to go on. Anyways, so then this platform, whatever it is, this is up to you. You can create an app or a website or whatever you want. It's supposed to give instant feedback on user input on whatever they say, whatever the statements say, and whatever statements they say and whatnot. And it's supposed to give grade appropriate content depending on the skill level and the education level of the person, with with a very friendly UI with gamification points, levels, streaks, and badges. The expected deliverables are a proper functional prototype of any format, which we leave this up to you, with a proper learning path, which you have explained to us, and giving us enough information as to how you are going to be generating this feedback based in this instant feedback based on whatever the user says, and proper evaluation method to track these people's progress, and a proper plan as to how you are going to implement this in the school level itself. The evaluation criteria as shown is a 30% weightage on educational value, 25% weightage on gamification effectiveness, 20% weightage on user experience, 15% weightage on technical implementation, and another 10% weightage on scalability and adaptability. Moving on, I pass on to Arnav to take track B.
Yeah, okay. First of all, we'll take any other doubts we have about track A before moving on to track B. Cool. So,
What
the core,
comparison would you guys expect as compared to human equivalence? Like, are we expecting human equivalent as the ordinary intelligent voter, or is it going to be a standard 100 IQ person, or is it going to be a seasoned debater?
can you put your doubts in the chat, please?
Or you could ask it after the debate or after that also.
Cool, we'll take this on later then. Coming to track B, which is live simulated mock debates. It is worthy to note right now that this is the track which will have the higher cash prize. We will have 15,000 here as compared to 10,000 for the other two. The reason for this is that it is more agentic and it is a more comprehensive system that you're required to build in track B. The core requirements for track B are AI debaters with role-based and skill-adjusted speed generation. What I mean by role-based is all these roles which you will probably read upon in a standard APD or a BPD format, which is Asian parliamentary or British parliamentary debate. Skill adjusted, I mean, talking about speaker scales and a range within those speaker scales would be expected, and probably adjustment is also expected then. We expect relevance and motion specific case prep. So obviously it should be relevant to what you are, very relevant to the motion. Yeah, an AI adjudicator, that is a judge with structured feedback per clash. Feedback should be given to the participants after the entire mock is over. And there should be support for multiple formats, which the two most common, British parliamentary and Asian parliamentary, and we should also have built-in node tracking. The expected deliverables for this track are a functional system covering preparation, live debate, as well as judging, a UI for managing sessions, an explanation of the decision-making algorithm that you use for judging the debate, a performance comparison with human equivalents, and feedback reports with class-based breakdowns, as we already pointed out after the debate to the participants. Evaluation criteria for this track would be transcription accuracy 20%, race prep quality 5%, AI debate speech quality 15%, interactivity 5%, skill level differentiation 15%, UI 10%, judging quality and feedback relevance 15%, multi-format support 5%, and system performance 10%. Again, as I said, do note in this track, it will be heavily focused on agentic AI and a more comprehensive system. This is a harder track, and yeah, this also has a proportionally higher cash price. Passing on track C to Siddharth.
I guess if you have any doubts in track B, you can ask in the chat. Answering those we have already. We'll give a better structured answers later on. But when we mention human equivalent, it's supposed like if you're, I'm assuming you're talking about track B. In welcome back. When we're talking about human equivalent, we are in track B. It's supposed to be an equivalent skill level to whatever the person who's the human debaters in the debate. So then it's supposed to match that skill level. Anyways, apart from that, the second question in track B, if we can we make it related to MUNs rather than debating? Well, the primary focus of this debate is going to be more on collegiate type debating, which is British parliamentary and Asian parliamentary. You're open to bring it to other formats, but the primary focus of this hackathon will be on collegiate debating. And yes, I do not understand what you mean by whether any ground truth will be provided to test type pipeline, but then I guess that'll be dealt with in the tech part later on. Anyways, moving on to track C. Track C, as I mentioned, is about enhanced tabbing with Gen AI. I'll give you a general basic idea of what tabbing works in the current status quo. Tabbing basically works with where it's a platform where you can tabulate everyone's whatever motion preferences they give during debates, and who won what debate and what score the judges gave to the speakers in what debate. And it as of now, it just gives you a kind of rank list and scoreboard as to who's winning a tournament and whatnot. And we feel like this can be made much better with the help of generative AI. And what we require from you is an add-on kind of to TabbyCat, which gives speaker level transcription analysis, wherein every speaker's speeches are provided in text, and AI gives analysis on what points they could have done better and what points, what logical leaps they might have done, and what assumptions they've made throughout the debate. And as moving on, adding on, this is supposed to look like personalized feedback based on whatever the speech was, as to whatever role they were saying in this, they were having in the debate, and what logic they've used throughout their case prep, and how they've delivered this logic in words. And this can even be adapted further on to give a performance tracking across various events, where since the same organization usually conducts multiple tournaments. So then if the tabby could now be integrated to track your performance across multiple events, and we could have much more better visual based tournament and judge analytics, and have built-in privacy and consent controls, so that the organizers can control what level of information is given to the speakers and the judges and everything at what point in time. The expected deliverables in this track is a working TabbyCat extension, is something that can actually add to the current TabbyCat open source platform, and give and proper documentation on how I can do this, but for installation, how I can install and use this onto TabbyCat, sample data visualization and feedback reports, and give me performance metrics across events for any sample user, and tell me how you're going to implement the entire data privacy and consent part of it all. The evaluation criteria for this is a 25% weightage on TabbyCat integration, 25% weightage on analytics quality, a 20% weightage on user interface, a 15% weightage on performance and scalability, and another 15% on data privacy and security. Moving on to Prisha.
Okay, so you've listened to what they had to say about the problem statements. Now, this session will be the one where you should ideally decide what track you will go for. And firstly, the problem statements and what the crux of them is matters. But secondly, we're also here to tell you what you can learn from these problem statements beyond the hackathon. So the track A, that is the AI debate coach. When you're making a gamified approach to learning about debate, you're also doing something that's very widespreadly done, like platforms such as Duolingo and Khanmigo you might have heard of. But then AI-based platforms such as Stimula have gained popularity recently. It won the Google Play Best App of the Year award for 2023. And it's an AI-based interface which teaches you how to speak better English by interacting with you in a gamified approach. And we hope you will build something like that so you get an experience which you can maybe put forward when you're trying for better projects, when you're trying for other things. So this is what the first track will teach you to do. Moving on to the second track. Track B. So this was about the whole debate simulation where you have the AI judge and opponent. So it actually teaches you how to build an AI system that is capable of responding to you, which is capable of having dialogue skills, which can have an interface which can actually interact with you. So that's the whole point of AI agents, and maybe in automating HRs, in maybe meeting transcriptions, in all of these things, you actually realize that there's so much to do with AI, and this track will help you hone your skills in that aspect. Next. Yeah, C. The track C, which is AI for TabbyCat. We've mentioned that TabbyCat is an open source platform. And in today's world where a lot of things are already developed, especially in industries, it becomes important to work on a pre-existing project and improve it. And improving it using AI is a very important skill. So by working on TabbyCat, by improving it, by integrating AI features, you actually gain some highly valuable skills which you can use in the industry as well as competitions like Google Summer of Code, GSOC. So having worked on such a project will also make you a potentially better candidate for GSOC. So there's this. Choose your projects wisely, choose whatever interests you, whatever excites you, and all the best.
So coming to the expected responses, what we expect from you throughout the course of this hackathon. As you mentioned already, this is a 1 month, 30-day hackathon. So some of these deadlines are going to be soft, some of them are going to be hard. I will specify the hard deadlines. We expect you in week 1 to decide on your track, construct a roadmap to learn and execute, and go through resources. Various resources, some of them we might give you, some of them, or most of them probably you'll have to find online on your own. Basically, week 1, we expect you to get a very good sense of the entire area, what you are going to use, what you are most interested in, and fixate on a single track. This week, we expect you to use AI to build AI, to use AI better and understand how to do that. Week two, and we will now ask you to fix a track. We will float a form and ask you to fill in which track you're going to choose, which will be final for the submission. You cannot change it later on. This is the hard deadline, of course. You have to list what you have learned so far and build something, which doesn't have to be presentable necessarily. What I mean by build something and why I say this is simply that we want you to try and learn and build such that it complements your learning. The building in week two doesn't necessarily have to be something that is extremely relevant to the hackathon or extremely relevant to your end project, but we do want you to get hands-on experience, to get your hands dirty and get a good practical sense of how this will look like. Week three will likely be execution heavy, the most execution heavy week for all of you, for most of you. You will have a defined tech stack, a defined workflow, and we would highly recommend that you try to complete a prototype in week three. And the reason why we would like you to do that is because week four, you will not have the entire 7 days. We will, this is basically the testing and refining phase. You will have 3 days before the first submission deadline, which is the code submission deadline, which we expect on 20th of July. He will require you to, and yeah, basically in first 3 days, we expect that you test and refine your final prototype and have a final product ready. By 22nd July, we will ask you to submit the documentation, again a hard deadline. It should be easy to read. People should be able to understand, and more importantly, should be able to use and reuse our code. Additionally, documentation is obviously important for your portfolio. So the clearer, the cleaner documentation you have, as well as probably the comprehensive documentation that you have, that will help you in your portfolio as well as in terms of reusing that code and understanding it. 24th July is the hard deadline for submission of final videos showcasing a working live demo of your project. We will require you to show tests that you pass in to your prototype or to your project and how it responds. Then no need to really edit the video or anything. We will judge on the basis of functionality and how good your prototype actually is rather than the quality of your video editing or whatever. Please do note all deadlines are 11:59 p.m. EOD and will not change. Thank you very much. And if there are any other questions, we can take them now.
टाइमलाइन वाला दिखाना है दोबारा जो स्लाइड
Sorry?
पिछली स्लाइड पिछली है वो जिसमें टाइमलाइन दिखा रहा है ना सारा वो उस पे कर दो यार एक बार
हाँ, ये वीक 4 की है टाइमिंग.
Timeline पे चला move back to the timeline page.
Just a second, मेरा रिफ्रेश नहीं हो रहा है सब. Yeah.
ओके थैंक्स
This will be shared with you in the group, the PPT. Deadline for video submission is 24th.
Yes, this recording of the Zoom meeting will be available to you, and we have already provided a YouTube live, which will have this entire uh, orientation, and the slides will be provided to you as well.
If anyone has other doubts, they can ask. Otherwise, we'll end this meeting. Cool.
You can use no code and low code tools or anything. It just needs to have finally a working platform, working interface where we can interact with the agent, and that is like live and deployed. So that's the main agenda. You can build anything at the backend. Just need to make sure that at the end it is a working model and we have a working interface along with that to interact with the agent behind it, which is working according to the deliverables. If you want, you can ask your questions directly with unmuting.
Does Sarvam AI like provide API interface, APIs and stuff?
Yeah, they will be providing you the APIs. It's not just that we are giving the free open source model directly to you so that you can use the virtual machine to host it upon. We will be giving you just like a ChatGPT API. It will be as simple and similar to that. You will be provided with multiple things like text to speech, speech to text, all the things with the possibility of doing it in multiple languages of which are Indian languages. So yeah, but again, it's your choice. It is just for from organizers as being organizers, we wanted to give you as much of the resources possible so that you are comfortably able to build something which you're proud of.
The video needs to be about your prototype, the project you have built, and showing us how it is working, the test that you pass into it, and the way it responds.
Yeah, the video does not require, like, we do not require you to do any formal editing to the video. We just need to know the logic behind whatever you're doing, since you're giving a lot of freedom up to you as to do what decide what platform you want and whatnot. So we just wanted to know exactly what you have used and how much of the deliverables you have actually completed.
Also, someone was asking what exactly we have to build among the three tracks. You can build anything of your choice, maybe an app, maybe a website or an interface. And since we've not placed this restriction, we want a video that shows that it's working. So what you have to build is up to you. We've given you certain options like maybe build a website, maybe build an app, but we want the video.